Well, that being said, I guess we can talk about On It. I was talking with Greg and Terry, and I was showing them the Warrior bars, right? Like these are dope. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, like what else is there? There's some good stuff. On It has good stuff." So I brought out that new pre-workout one, which is good, by the way. I have a report on that. So that one comes out, and then the krill oil comes out. Oh yeah, this is good for this. So we're talking about this big table of like all the stuff. It's not a lot. It's like 4 things: the Warrior Bar, the krill oil, and the pre-workout, and 3 things. And we're like, yeah, this does this, and this does this, and then I kind of step back, and I'm like, yeah, we're those guys with all our supplements, talking about supplements, right? Which I've never done. And Greg goes, yeah, if we weren't such nice guys, this would be a real douchey conversation. So the kind of the irony there is him saying that he's the one having the douchey conversation, but he is the nice guy. You get it?
I guess so.
Anyway, point there, or actually the second point there is On It is good supplement. So if you do talk about them while you're taking them, you're not having a douchey conversation. And this is why. I
heard Joe Rogan talking the other day about like how hard it is when you're a stand-up comedian and you tell a joke and it's just flat.
Yeah,
I think we just got a little.
Yeah, but that wasn't. Here's the thing. That
hurt me. There were. I always give you a mercy laugh, but I didn't do it because I'm not a merciful person.
That had joking elements, but this is true, and this is part of a bigger point that I'm making.
I hope so.
I don't expect you to laugh at everything I say, even though you pretty much do. Anyway. The reason that it's not a douchey conversation, here's the point, is because On It supplements, the krill oil, all that stuff, is actually good quality. It's not like, hey, I'm a meathead, I'm going to get buff and all this stuff. It actually helps your performance. Anyway, so in the event of you wanting On It stuff and supporting this podcast, while at the same time supporting yourself, go to onit.com/Jocko, 10% off. Boom. Second way to support, Amazon click-through. Christmas is over, but we still need stuff. Duct tape, whatever. Knives, etc. If you want to support this podcast, just go to the website, jockopodcast.com. Click through the Amazon banner link before you do your shopping. You can support that way. It's a good way to support. Oh, wait. Yeah, you're into chemistry, right? Sodium, when you put a little piece of sodium in the water, right, it makes this big commotion. So that's what the Amazon click-through does. It seems like this small little thing, but applied properly, it makes a big impact in the podcast, support-wise. Anyway, thought you'd get that.
Can we verify that, Doctor?
I will have to go and look at the Amazon click-through to confirm that.
I tell Jocko he typically doesn't really understand because he doesn't know what sodium does.
No.
Might have been potassium, or both, actually.
So now this whole thing's been a lie, or it's at least unsure.
No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm actually fairly certain.
Pretty sure goes a long way with Echo, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway, you can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, which seems obvious, because typically the podcast you listen to, you subscribe to, but sometimes you don't. So subscribe if you have not already and you want to support this podcast.
Google Play, Stitcher, also in the game.
Yeah.
And iTunes, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of unfair that I don't think about that as much. You know, when you have an iPhone, you kind of forget all this other stuff.
I'm over here to help out.
Yeah, man. Good thing you're here, yeah, on this podcast. YouTube, of course. We're working on putting more videos on there aside from the whole podcast. So some of those videos, and I have gotten like messages saying like those shorter clips are helpful.
They are helpful.
You know? Rather than listening to the whole podcast,
and there's been people there's been people that have been submitting to you on Twitter, which excerpts, are in high demand out there in the world.
Yeah, I've been following now, and in fact, I have them all. Like, it's a process, but yeah, we're working on that. So subscribe to YouTube.
We are working on that. I like it.
Collectively.
Just so you guys know, I'm not working on any of that, but Echo apparently is, which is cool.
Well, technically, you saying, "Hey, Echo, put this one up."
Oh, okay.
Boom,
my
you
part
did
is
your
done
part.
here.
Yeah, man, exactly. And then in the event of you wearing like a t-shirt or something, or a hoodie, Jocko has a store. It's called Jocko Store. The URL is jockostore.com.
Echo, is that a calculator watch you have?
I was going to get to that. So you mentioned, see, now we got to change the subject real quick, which I like, by the way. Remember you were talking about you're into watches.
Yeah.
Right. I was going to show, I didn't want to interrupt what you're saying, but.
That is.
You appreciate that one, right?
That is ridiculous.
I just reincorporated this one back because.
What is it? A calculator watch?
Calculator watch. Actually, one of the first pictures I posted on Twitter was up before the enemy, and it was like, you know, Jocko was always like, yeah, 4:30 a.m.
Which one is that? The Casio?
Yeah, Casio. Oh, that's cool,
dude. Circa 1984, 85. That watch when I was a kid, dude, like I would have killed someone for that.
Only the cool kids had the calculator one.
Oh,
usually, if you had a watch, it was just the regular Casio, and the cool kids had the calculator.
I had the first Iron Man.
Did you?
Yeah, it was black with like a little red trim on it. I asked for it for Christmas. My parents got it for me, but I knew where they hid presents. So every day after school, I would go into their room and I would take it out of the box, and I had set the time. I would wear it. I would just hang out there, and then before I go to bed, I'd like sneak back, put it in, and so like on Christmas Day, it was like I'd been wearing the watch for a month.
Right. That was your watch. Actually, I think you got.
I'm into watches too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got one. Actually, I got quite a few of these.
Jocko, you should have your own brand of watches.
Yeah. We'll see how all that turns out.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, yeah, I am very proud of this calculator watch. Back to the store, though. Jocko store, no watches, but
yet.
Not yet. But there are some cool shirts. In my opinion, I think they're cool. Discipline equals freedom, all these things. Jocko's head, good, written in backwards. Various layers to these shirts, not just like, oh, a picture, that's it. So, if you like any of that stuff, I'm not even saying go buy this stuff. I'm not saying that. Just go to the jockostore.com. See if you like it. If you like it, you want one, then you buy one. And that supports the podcast. You know, it's a systemic thing.
Good.
There you go. Patches on there as well. Rash guards.
Rash guards are you know what you didn't mention? That you should have mentioned, because apparently it's been pretty cool out there in the world.
Lay it on me.
Psychological warfare.
Yeah. I didn't mention it this time, but I mentioned it last time. And in my everyday life. And I use it, so there you go.
Psychological warfare. You use it?
I use it.
Every day?
When needed. Here's the thing. You can't use it every day. No, you can. Actually, you can. I'm not going to say you can't use it every day. But the whole reason that I was like, hey, Jocko, what do you say, when you're
because you don't need it every day.
I don't need it every day.
Okay.
But it varies, from season to season. So, Christmas time.
So if you are coming up against moments of weakness,
yep,
we have a little method to get you over those humps.
Yeah. It's kind of like coaching a little bit. Because you
psychopathic coaching.
Yeah, psycho for sure. Because it kind of
I played one of them for my 7-year-old daughter the other day because she was about to eat some candy or something. Right, I was like, "Come here for a minute."
Yeah.
So I played her that one, the snack time one.
Yep. Sugar-coated lies.
Yeah, sugar-coated lies. She was pretty impressed, but what impressed me was later in the evening she was kind of saying it.
Yeah.
I was
See, and that's what I was going to say. Where you explain, it's like, cool, it's Jocko telling me to do this, so yes, I'll do it or not do it or whatever. But you explain some good stuff, like to remember,
Like it is sugar-coated lies.
Yeah, and that's kind of catchy too, so it sticks in your mind.
It's poison. So you can buy that on iTunes.
Yes.
It's somewhere else too, right? Google Play, if you want it. And also, everyone that asks for an alarm tone to wake up,
that's it.
That's it. It's there now. You don't have to ask anymore. You can just go to iTunes and get that psychological warfare.
Clear it with your wife, though. Or whoever you sleep with.
Yeah, we've gotten some serious feedback on that one.
Yeah.
Because what happens is the alarm goes off. If you have it set, then it's going to be my voice. And it's going to be weird because it sounds like there's some strange man in your room
at 4:30 in the morning, which is kind of weird. Yeah.
Does the alarm only work at 4:30 a.m.?
No, it's an album. It's an album of tracks. And each track talks about some moment of generally a moment of weakness that you have. Like, there's ones to wake up in the morning. There's ones to, you don't feel like going to the gym? Go to the gym. There's ones you feel like eating a donut? don't eat the donut. There's one, I'm gonna put this off for a while. I'm gonna procrastinate. No, you're not going to procrastinate. So all the little moments of weakness that we all have as humans can be countered using psychological warfare, factually.
Yeah, there's actually two on there. There's one called, like, I think it's called, like, No More. It's basically like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, No More is a good one.
That one's good because it puts into words exactly, like, what you want to think. Like, you know, because you always feel that. Like, you know how, like, you know, you're gaining some weight. Or, I mean, a lot of times you know why you're gaining weight. And so it's a little bit different. But you're like, you know what, drinking is one where you wake up kind of hungover and you're like, I'm not drinking anymore, you know, like that thing, but you never really
execute.
Yeah, you know, man, it's perfect because it sticks with you. You're like, no more. And then the other one was when you're talking about every day. It's called Every Day, I think.
Every day.
Every day is a Monday. That one's dope, man.
Yeah. So you can get after that.